তাই আন্দোলনের শেষ থাকে না কখনো, শুধু শুরুয়াত থাকে। অনেক ধন্যবাদ ডক্টর অনিকেত মাহাতোদা এবং ডক্টর দেবাশিস হালদার দাদাকে। এবার ডেকে নেব WBJDF এর প্রতিনিধি ডক্টর সপ্তদীপা চক্রবর্তী দিদিকে NRS মেডিকেল কলেজ থেকে।
শুরুতে সবাইকে স্বাগত ও কুর্নিশ জানাই। আমি আজ WBJDF এর পক্ষ থেকে আমার বক্তব্যটি ইংলিশে রাখবো, কারণ আমরা চাই যে দেশ বিদেশ সব জায়গায় যেন আমাদের বার্তা ছড়িয়ে পড়ে। In the last 3 months, we have been brought to such a situation where the values of our society, democracy and humanity have become a big question. On the 9th of August, a woman was brutally raped and murdered in her workplace. As the days passed, we have realized how the institutions of human civilization that we have created have become totally dysfunctional. The very fact that this heinous crime could take place, the deliberate investigational hurdles, the need to ask for justice on the streets, all of these are proof that all these institutions that we have created are completely dysfunctional. Additionally, we are also faced with a very slow system that delivers justice and administrative resistance to our protest. We have seen it all in the last 3 months. We also learned about some horrific incidents of rape and murder. Murshidabad, Joynagar, Joyga has proved to us how the age of the victim is immaterial, that any heinous crime can happen to anybody, anytime, in any situation. Do we call this human progress, or are we deluded enough to substitute technological advancement and call it human progress? Has there been any progress at all? We should be asking ourselves. The irony is really in the fact that all of these incidents occurred while we were hitting the streets, while we were protesting on Rajpath, crying for the justice for Abhaya. However, amidst this hopelessness, in this journey to seek justice, we have found fearlessness that is infectious. We have found the existence of strong spines. We have found the strength to fight hand in hand against all adversities. We have found the warriors who echoed the songs of justice with us at Shastra Bhavan, CGO, Lal Bazar, Dharmatala. We have seen all heroes from all parts of our society. Standing at this juncture, if we must evaluate what have we gained, we must begin with the justice for Abhaya. There has been an organized attempt at hushing up the case by cremating her body in a very hasty manner, contaminating and vandalizing the crime site, suppressing protesting voices, and explaining the crime by arresting only one accused. This people's movement has successfully brought light onto this narrative that this is but an institutional murder. More specifically, we believe that the arrest of ex-principal Arjikor, suspension of a few heads of threat culture, and the CBI investigation details that the Supreme Court has observed to be deeply disturbing are all the ripples of our movement and resistance. The removal of CP Kolkata, the arrest of OC Tala Thana, removal of DME and DHS, and the historic lifting of barricade at Lal Bazar are strong reminders of the fierce power of the people of West Bengal. Though we must admit that this is only the tip of the iceberg and a long battle awaits us. The last CBI report seemed to be a farce, and we are waiting for the truth to come out in the next hearing. We want to make this loud and clear that we shall fight until the last stone is kept unturned. We shall fight until then. We also want to make our stand firm that we, the people, are determined to create an environment where no Abhaya can happen. Together, we advocated through our subsequent 9 demands how a sense of external as well as internal security is instrumental for the smooth functioning of the healthcare delivery system that intertwines doctors and patients. We had advocated for initiating recruitment, centralized referral system, and bed vacancy monitoring, all of which are directly essential for patient care. It is very important to reiterate that absence of these facilities causes harassment to the patients and relatives, and in turn distressed patient party subjects the healthcare professionals to violence for something that is actually a systemic failure. We advocated for a democratic environment within the college campuses and initiation of inquiry against those alleged in propagating threat culture, as we believe that the incidence of Abhaya is but a culmination of all of this. We advocated for the removal of Principal Health Secretary, as we have documented evidence pointing towards administrative failure for his position, and we have submitted the documents to the Honorable Chief Minister, and we are awaiting appropriate action. We want to make it very clear that we demand justice that is both retributive as well as preventive. Our brave warriors went on a hunger strike for 18 days, consuming only water. Their health deteriorated, but never their will, never their smile. What we have witnessed is an ocean of love and support from everyone, praying for them and hoping that the government takes a human view of the matter and addresses them urgently, as all our demands have been clearly formulated and are justified in resonating with the preventive justice of Abhaya-like incidents. We spent Durga Pujo sloganeering, Utshobta Biplab. We decided Biplab. We decided it's not celebration, it's revolution. However, the government only responded after many days of their health worsening, and only after we warned of being compelled to call a health strike if our demands were not met. They not only did not categorically respond to our very well-formulated demands and the emailed 10-point demands, but also did not inform us anything about the live streaming. There are two very crucial things to note here. First, that they did not seem it important that they should have taken the consent. This only points how demeaning it is to the people we represent, the dignity of the people we represent, how demeaning it can be. And second, on this very ground, several previous other meetings have been cancelled, have been rejected. Each of these, it is important to note here that each of these meeting opportunities have been created by spending a lot of blood and sweat of the people who have been protesting on the streets. So what was the point in rejecting those meetings on the very same ground? We must think and sit on these. However, what this live streaming has actually done very lucidly is it has established what an intimidating body language looks like, including the principles of the various medical colleges. And we should remind ourselves, all of them are learned assets of our society. Everybody in that meeting was subjected to an intimidating body language. What should we call this? How should we address this? Let the people decide. As we have gathered here today in this mass convention, representing the people who have bruised their feet, walking the Rajpath, crying for Abhaya's justice, we want to know from the people on ways to take our movement forward, stronger and more resolute than ever. We want to learn from this collective experience. Together, we believe we can create a new tomorrow, where justice won't be a farce and power would come with some sense of responsibility, not a tool to be abused. Till then, we fight. We fight because we must. We fight because we are answerable to generations that are following. We fight because we cannot live in a world that is patriarchal and abusive. We fight until then. They are going to try to crush our voices, divide us, allure us, threaten us. But we look them in the eye and tell them, you can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. Can you?
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ সপ্তদীপা। এখন আমরা মঞ্চে ডেকে নিচ্ছি কলকাতা হাইকোর্টের বিশিষ্ট সিনিয়র অ্যাডভোকেট মিস্টার পার্থ সারথী সেনগুপ্ত স্যারকে।